had created some incredible and unforgettable memories in our VW Grand California, but after 3 years, 50,000 miles, it was time for a change. The change came in the form of a mobile Veta motorhome, something a lot more spacious that would grow with us over the next few years. So after collecting our new home on wheels, we embarked on a 1,000 mile road trip across our favourite parts of Scotland to put our new motorhome through our paces. This is the story of our first road trip in our new van. But we're currently sitting in an average speed zone, 30 mile an hour, when nothing's happening. They've obviously put the cameras up, obviously, that's priority number one, but now it's actually happening here. It's a travesty. I don't understand who's accountable for this. Because if that was me and I was the supervisor, the first thing I'd say is, well, before you put the camera, are we actually doing anything there? No, right. Well, didn't put that up yet then, because why? Now it's happening? I just didn't understand it. Like, it's eventually looking like they're going to have one lane closed, but the average speed cameras are being miles back down to 30 mile an hour. There's 2 lanes. It's disgusting. You're wasting my life. One of the biggest problems that you have when you're trying to off-grid it really is chemical toilets, because unless you're going to go to a campsite, you haven't really got anywhere to empty it. And I know people say that you can do it at public toilets and that. I don't feel comfortable just rocking to a public toilet with my chemical cassette to dump it in there, unless there's like an Elson point there, which some places like the Isle of Arran have, and there's places like that popping up. But other than that, these are the solution that we use for your liquids, because your solids don't smell unless there's liquids in there, really. As soon as you start weeing in there, it stinks. So as long as you can keep your liquids away from the solids, you're laughing. We're heading off now. I reckons about 20 to 6 is what time we get to Tarbert Way, which is where the ferry from Isle of Arran actually goes to. I've set it to that. But like I say, we haven't driven that road from Luss across, so we're going to see what's along there, and we'll just take it as we go.
Looks quite nice actually.
Looks lush.
Google
Street Viewing.
I think it's called Inverness or something.
Inverness. We'll have a look. We'll do that.
Yeah.
That's the plan. We took a left at Loch Lomond and headed across the A83 all the way to Inverness. The scenery on this stretch of road was breathtaking, and having never driven this route before, we were both blown away. That's the thing with Scotland. Once you're north of Glasgow or Edinburgh, you never know how incredible the scenery could be just around the corner, so it definitely pays to take some turns that you've never taken before. You never know what's coming next in this beautiful country. If you're looking to plan the ultimate Scottish road trip, then we've got you covered with our Ultimate Scottish Road Trip Travel Guide. Now, this is the best route in all of the UK. You'll see all of the best views in Scotland in one easy to drive, easy to follow and accessible road trip route. We have the NC500 Improved, which is the traditional route, plus a new start and new endpoint, so you see more iconic views in Scotland. We've got the best beaches in all of the UK covered in Harrison Lewis on our Outer Hebrides guide, and we've got Scotland's very best island, the Isle of Arran, in the travel guide as well. The last guide we also have is our Borderlands 320. It's a 320 mile historic route that snakes between the English and Scottish borders. It's an incredible route that's very different from our other guides. All of these guides are available at the link in the description, and save 30% off using the code NEWVAN30, NEWVAN30 for the entire month of October. Get them while you can. So we're trying, if you can hear the dog. Every time we stop, the dogs used to think they were going somewhere, so they'd get up and start getting excited. And we've decided in this van we're trying to like get some habits out of them. So we've gotten the leads out, just left them on the floor, put our coat on, just sitting down, and then once the dogs settle down, then we'll put them on the lead and go, in the hope that will calm down a bit, because there's now more annoying than when I just want to just get up to go to the toilet or stop at some traffic lights and the dogs think they're going for a walk. So they seem to be settling down. Once they do, then we'll take them out. but it's annoying when you just want to get up and go.
I know.
I'm gonna be asked for this dog training Malati. It's this
But
one.
you've got to invest the time though.
It's this little squeaky one. Rufus is licking the fridge. Knock off. Theo's chilling on the floor, but it's this little boy, isn't it? But it's that face, isn't it? He's cute as hell, so you cannot resist. Never been to Inverary before, but it's a lovely place. How have I never been here before? How have you never let me come here before, babe?
I've never come to Kintyre.
I don't understand why none of yous even told us to come here before. It's lovely. Very much recommend it. I bet it's rammed on a sunny day though. Luckily it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not too bad.
I'm on the hunt for some fish and chips. You won't let us get any.
She wants fish and chips and I want to be good and cook our food. I was a former motorhome hater. I understand when people didn't like motorhomes. I was once you. However, I actually, and I'm a bit biased, so it's probably just me bias actually, but I actually don't mind it. I think the van looks quite nice. It needs some new wheels because the wheels that are on Allfields are absolutely atrocious. And it also, by the way, you get about 3 seconds then it locks itself. We will lose these keys.
You normally carry them on, yeah?
We need to be careful.
You do.
You
need to be
scary
careful.
Mary with that. Now, like, in all fairness, I think it's quite a nice looking van. Do you?
I'm warm into it.
I think, well, you should like it. You like ugly things. Yeah. Anyway, we've got 20-25 minutes roughly to drive up the road, or down the road, to the forestry place where we're going to camp for the night. And I know some people are a little bit against, like, I suppose it's hit and miss with some people because some people didn't want to have to pay for parting off-grid. But I just like having the option. We don't make a huge habit of it, to be fair. But if it's there and it's a few quid, I'm not so fussed. So I think that's what we're going to get tonight. It's cheaper than a campsite, and I didn't like being at a campsite. It's not about the not paying, it's the experience of campsites that we don't like, innit? It's the limitations. You're meant to agree with us, you're on camera.
Oh. No, I'm not bothered about campsites.
So that's where we're going anyway. We found the park up, but it's a bit wonky.
Now that you can see.
Up though, that can't be right. Basically, that's perfect, I reckon.
What is it? How many degrees?
1 degree on both.
And then a full on.
Feels like more though. Feels like a tiny bit more, but that'll do. We'll not have this issue in hopefully November, maybe it's December when we have the leveling legs. We can just park anywhere and just boop, whoop. But at the minute it's a bit of an issue. But you can stay here. I don't know how. I think it's got a ring and go code. So I'll see how you pay, but apparently you can pay overnight, so I'll go and take you over and show you the little sign while I go and have a look. So it looks like it's just a ring and go code, and you just stay overnight, pay later. So you can actually, if you haven't got a signal, which I don't know if I have, yeah, I've got a full signal, but if you haven't got a signal, it says it's a pay later location, so Forestry and Land of Scotland will allow 72 hours to make your payment, so presumably you can just go on the app after and pay it. Which is good. That's the thing, like, I mean, this is the spot we've picked. It's not particularly level, but you are actually allowed to stay here. So if you want to bring your level and chocks and that kind of thing, you can do. I don't like using them because normally we are like actually stealth camping, but when you're allowed to stay, then there's no harm if it's level. And other than that, the car park's just going to sit empty on a night time. Like, yes, there's a couple of cars there with dog walkers in it now, but on a night time it's going to be empty. So I don't get why more places don't do this. So anyway, we are here. This van honestly locks me out all the time. So yes, not a bad little park up for the night. Job is a good one. We'll get sorted, tidy up the van a little bit, and then we'll get some tea on because I'm starving. It appears twice, so one of them's for park, like stay the night, and the other one's the normal car park. £7 for overnight until 10 AM, which is spot on. Easy, happy enough with that. £7.20 in the end, because obviously Ringo want 20 pence for using their services. Done. That's us in for the night. It means we can chill here. Was kind of wanting, well, not wanting, but expecting to do a bit of wild camping and experiment with that in our new motorhome. Kind of is wild camping, but not like stealthy, you know, illegally and all that. But we've decided that we're gonna get we got gusto, didn't we, darling?
Did.
So, because what we do is we always buy a load of crap, and you end up like having too much of everything, so then the fridge and everything's full. So we thought, we used to use Gusto years ago, and that's what kind of made us enjoy cooking. So we decided to sort of restart it just for the weeks that we're away. So we've got 5 different dishes. We're going to check, because one of them I think is due to go out of date in like 2 days. The rest of them it's the end of the week. So there's one that we need to cook tonight or tomorrow. So we'll probably do that in the night. And then I go from there. But this one, obviously, we've got an oven. We've got 3 hobs. We're spoiled for choice in here. And where?
And a full size
And
fridge.
a full fridge just full of stuff.
Look how packed it is though.
Jam packed.
This is all the Gusto stuff.
No, it's not. You brought stuff to make a full on soup, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I was just using stuff that was left in the fridge. Whether that'll
Do we
help
need
us
2 lots of eggs though?
Well, no, it's just 2 in here.
So yeah, we've got a full fridge, and then the bottom fridge, the drink section, is just full of water. Bottles of water. Do we bring milk or not?
Yeah, but look how good the bottom section is too.
It is handy to have like a nice little vertical area. You can fit easily fit a 2 litre bottle of water in height wise, which is good, and then obviously the freezer at the top. What I have been buying though, and it's getting in the way currently, is this, because there's nowhere to store anything. Oh, Jackie pot!
A leftover.
One of the kids has forgot to eat. That'll be
Oh
Amelia.
no.
She just forgot to eat that thing, so unfortunately I'll have to make sure that's gone. But yeah.
Was it meant to make that noise? Sounds like it's deflated something there. What was that all about?
But anyway, I've been buying this because there's nowhere to store out in the bed, and there's just a hole on both sides that things drop. So I got this which hooks over, but obviously I don't want to rattle. So I've put a Velcro strip here and a Velcro strip on the back, so that when it's over there, it doesn't rattle. So that's the plan. I've been getting some new plates and that as well. Stuffed it in there, pots and pans, everything has been secured well because I've done it. So tomorrow when we leave, when Danny's done it, everything will rattle.
It will.
It will. Bit pepper on there, babe.
Oh no, I got a bit covered in.
Looks alright though, doesn't it? What's the reviews on that? Let us know in the comments how nice you think it's going to taste, or how rank you think it's going to taste, and I'll...
I normally slag off my food, so I'm bound to slag off yours.
I mean, yours looks like dog food.
It does normally, but...
Yours looks horrible but tastes nice. Mine probably looks okay but tastes horrible. Was
it
it?
was nice, babe.
It was actually nice. I think the sauce would have been better if I had a blitzer thing. Smoother. But I chopped it low. I'm so funny, there's obviously green beans and I'm like a bear. I don't like lumpy stuff unless I want it. So I've ate most of them, but I didn't really like eating them. This is what Danny's about. I had me fill of them and that's enough. I didn't, that was just too many.
I enjoyed mine.
I thought it was nice actually. Meal one in the van. There's a few things, when you get because obviously we spend so much time in the Grand California, we were a well-oiled machine. We're cooking, we knew where everything was. where you needed to put things to make space and all that. We're not quite, obviously, we're not there yet at all.
We haven't got a clue.
I've never known anything like him. He's the neediest dog I've ever seen. And poor Rufus gets squashed, didn't you, boy? Come here. You're a good boy. Good boy. And then I get this behind him. Woody, get off him. Get off him. He's a handsome boy. And yeah. Dogs have been out for a wee. Got sort of bed. This is how we have it set up on a night time. So we use the bed at the back. Nice big bed, canny size. Got another skylight above you there. I bought this little tray which is canny to put me stuff in. Still plenty of space underneath, and then also you have another bed here for this side which we'll not be using. Dogs can chill there. There's space between the ladder and the door. All is good, so hopefully we get a nice quiet night's sleep beneath. We'll see you in the morning. Aww. Worst nightmares have come true. We've woke up this morning, I've had a nice shower, we've sorted the van out a little bit, and I thought before I sit down and do my little journal that I've done every day since December the 28th, I'll have a coffee in that nashy power bank that I borrowed off my mum. Can't even power my coffee machine. I didn't bring any like powdered coffee or any like nashy coffee either. So it'll be the first day in as long as I can actually remember in recorded history that I'll not have had a coffee, so I don't know how this day is going to go. So this is the label printer that we use for our labels for the travel guides. Now I tested this power bank yesterday or the day before when we were at home to make sure we can power these, because if not I'm a little bit stuck because this is how we print our labels. So now I'm a little bit more concerned based on the fact that the coffee machine wouldn't work, and that generates more power, but this is like a thermal printer, so I don't know if there's going to be any issues with this either, so we'll see whether these print. Laughing. So we left our wonderful overnight park up and headed to the nearest town, which was only a short 20-minute drive, where I was absolutely choking for a cup of coffee. But en route, I decided to sort of elaborate on what it had been like up to this point to own a motorhome over the Grand California, our old camper van. I think the biggest thing I've noticed up to now, realistically, is that whole, like, the space, that we're not tripping over each other. Like it doesn't. I know a lot of people will say like, oh, you'll not be able to drive it here and you're not being able to drive it there, but I think that's because they hear other people not drive motorhomes here and there, and in all fairness, most people who own motorhomes are older people, and because they're older people, they drive like the little Yaris and the Fiesta like that as well. So I don't think it's the vehicle they're driving as much as it's just the people that are driving it. Because in all fairness, up to now, like, yes, it's wider, but it's not that much wider. So it hasn't limited anything yet, but we haven't been on any major single track roads or anything just yet. But it's just a much nicer place to be, and I couldn't be happier with it. And now there's been some problems with it, and now there will carry on being some problems with it, but honestly, the benefits of this thing compared to the Grand California are just insane. I love it. So yes, very happy with it. Would not go back. Not at this point anyway, but the co-op is just here, so fingers crossed there's a Costa inside the better be. No coffee machines in there, I'm furious. I look like a right little nugget.
What did you get? What you've got a sieve for?
A sieve. And some medium roast coffee granules that I didn't even like, but it's the only option. But there's a petrol station back down there. I'm sure I had a like a Costa looking cup thing outside. So we're just gonna go there. There's any other possibility, any other solutions I can think of. Not ideal. A little bit disappointed. I think it's the first co-op I've been to for a long time in Scotland that doesn't have a Costa machine in it. Bit heartbreaking, to be honest. And the post office doesn't open until 9:15. What kind of time is that? Where are we? 9:15. Oh, that's what dreams are made of. Oh, it's lovely. I love the Costa machine. You know, who else is in a similar boat? Because we're going to you get into a coffee shop and you get Sharon, who works in the coffee shop. And you ask for a cappuccino and she just basically scalds the milk to 1,000 degrees, and as long as there's a bit of froth on the top, they're like, oh, they are. There's your cappuccino, and you're like, there's no cappuccino about that. I've just got hot milk with some froth on top of it.
So, babe, I've noticed your right hand has been very active since we started driving this van. Do you want to explain what's been happening?
Oh, so it seems that I've joined a cult accidentally. Everyone with motorhomes are very active at work, more active. Like in the Grand California, you got other people with Grand Californias would wave, other VW owners would wave, and sometimes motorhome owners. But now that I've got this, we've got a full-on wave going. And at first, now I'm like, hello, you fellow white box driver. Yeah, it's strange. Very dedicated, the motorhome community. Not one's not waved. Everyone has. Now, any long-term viewers of this channel will know that I have a thing for pebble-dashed, grey, ugly buildings that some parts of Scotland have. And it seems Campbelltown is full of that, where it just looks like you've driven into Kazakhstan. Now, I'm not saying it is rough. I mean, it might be, I don't know. And it doesn't feel rough, but it's just that and I think someone told us on one of the videos when I commented on it originally that it depends on the sort of stone that they use locally. So what they build a lot of the houses and stuff from the stone that's available locally, and that's why they're like this. But God, it doesn't look that nice, and that's putting it politely. It's just grim looking. Just paint them. It's all you need. I'm not expecting multicolored stuff like Tobermory. It doesn't need to be that, but when they're just unpainted, grey pebble dashed buildings with rust running down the sides, I mean, it doesn't look great. It's grim. Danny's cringing behind the camera. She hates it when I talk about this sort of stuff. I'm not saying I say the area is scruffy. I'm just saying it just doesn't look that nice. That's all. I just wish they would paint. There's parts on the east coast of Scotland which is the same, and I think that's one of the things what Aaron I was just saying. I'm sure there is some parts that are not as nice as other parts, and I mean, I know there is. I've seen some of them, but you didn't see any of them really as you drive. There's maybe some little bits in Lamlash you see like that as you drive through, but the rest of Aaron generally you didn't see this. Where that coming over the hill there was a sight. The sight, I don't know how to describe it in any other way. It was quite the sight. I'm going to head back this way because it was a co-op with a post office inside and hopefully another Costa coffee machine.
We had a wander around Campbelltown and then decided we wanted to head to the Isle of Mull. So we headed north, back up towards Uban, where we jump back into the story in a co-op car park.
I don't know what's happening. Me dog's trying to... He is trying to bury the food there, Rufus. Well, I can't say that, mate. Rufus, what are you doing? He's so retarded. Bean shopping. So, obviously you need pre-food food. Angus, Aberdeen Angus flavour crisps. If we're staying at a campsite tonight, so here's the issue I've got. I'm struggling charging everything. And if we're going to Mull, the whole point is for photos. So I need to charge things, so we might boot a campsite. Not having electrics is a bit of a nightmare. I don't know how people cope with it. So since we began to a campsite, got some brewdog, and then for me dinner, I thought for the first time ever, I can actually cook a full-on pizza. I mean, I was only meant to be on something little, but I seen it and thought, why not? If anyone hasn't tried Nduja flavoured pizzas and stuff, redonkulous. Cannot wait. So I'm gonna crank the old oven on for the first time ever, and have a nice van that smells of pizza. Well, would you look at that? What's your thoughts on that little bad lad?
I'm a little bit jealous.
I'll describe it to you.
You mean you're not even going to share?
That oven, great. I mean, I set the greaseproof paper on fire like because it hit the flame, but happy with that. So food's done. We've got about 2 hours to kill before the ferry takes us across to Mull. But I think we're going to kind of summarise where things have been up to now. So driving and everything's been great, the van's been fine, everything's worked. The issues that we've got is with the actual limitations of the van currently, which is the electrical system. The leisure battery on this is absolutely atrocious. I think it's a 95 amp lead acid, so essentially it might even be 90, so I'm getting like 40 odd. So just off the lights last night and the heating, well, the water heating, the battery was pretty much completely flat this morning, so it's not ideal, and obviously we are getting that fixed when we get the new electrical setup installed at the end of this month. Well, yeah, it'll be the end of this month by the time this video comes out. But other than that, all has been good. But we're going to end the video here because we've got some bits and bobs to sort out, and then we've got to get the ferry, and then I'm just going to focus on the photography on Mull rather than making a video. Maybe if there is a video, it'll be coming out next week, and if there's not, then it won't. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.